Hi, Danny with Otto & Sons Nursery. Welcome back to our backyard orchard. We've talked a lot about pruning on fruit trees like this nectarine here, kind of traditional vase-shaped pruning on deciduous fruit tree. I wanted to talk today about espalier fruit trees. So over here next to our outside picnic area, we have this fig that we planted last year. We kind of let it do its own thing for a year, and it decided it was going to grow into the picnic area a little bit, as well as up here kind of above the, pushing towards the roof. We kind of knew that figs are pretty aggressive growers, but one thing we can do with this tree is turn it into an espalier or an espalier, which means we're going to try and grow it more in a flat surface on a trellis. There's lots of different trellising mechanisms we can use to try and keep that flat form to the tree. There's wood stakes that we could use. Wood's great, except for over time they rot out. They're a good economical choice, but you have to replace them. We're going to use these fiberglass poles that we have. Very nice, they'll last forever, and they have a nice green color to them. So one thing though on, sorry, it's kind of hard to stay on the right side here. On fiberglass is we don't want to hit the top of it with a hammer because we could shatter it, so we're going to use this post pounder to put it into the ground. We'll try and keep it in line with the rest of the tree. Put the post pounder on there. If you don't have one of these, you could also use a 2x4 on top and then hit that with a hammer. We just don't want to smash the top of this pole. It won't look very good going into the future. So make sure we don't smash the tree. Get that in the ground. We're going to do this on both sides. Ground's nice and moist. That goes in very easy this time of year. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to select the branches that we want to keep and try and tie them in a more horizontal position. This will train it more horizontal. It's pleasing to the eye that way, as well as help for more growth to come out and towards the sun as that grows. So we're going to take the tie tape over here, which I left on the wrong side. There we go. And I get a piece of tie tape out, and then we are going to pull the tree over so that it's where we want it to be, and then pull this branch down and tie it off. Now we're selecting this branch because it has a lot of very nice secondary growth on it, and that way we're going to get a lot of figs next year. So we're going to tie that nice and tight so that it holds. Maybe give it an extra wrap. Give it another little tie down. And there we go. So that's one branch. So we're going to tie down several more. Tie down a couple more. Abby, you going to come help? Do you want to come hold the tape for me? Can you hold that for me? Here, hold the tape, please. Okay. Hold tape, thank you. Okay. And tie this down. You're seeing cheese for mommy? Okay. Great. Okay, so that's half the tree. Okay, thank you. More. You're going to go do more on the other side. Now, one thing that does happen when you're espaliering a tree is you're going to get growth that comes out in a direction that's not in the plane of what we'd like. In this case, we have this branch that's coming out. We're keeping these two branches on this side. On this side, we're going to try and keep these three, maybe train these a little higher. This one, however, doesn't really fit into our design very well. It's coming out very close to this other lateral branch we're going to put in. So we're going to take that guy off. So I'm going to do that now. We're going to come in here close to the collar, next to the trunk, and cut that off. Okay, yep, we cut it off, Abby. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to go ahead and tie up these other ones, and then we'll show you a picture here at the end of the whole thing tied up. There it is, all done. Welcome back here to our Espalier fig. We worked on this one last year. It didn't come as an Espalier. We did this last year with a couple stakes and some tie tape. So it grew all season. We got tons of figs off of it, but it's time for its winter pruning. Now, this is a blackjack fig, and blackjack figs fruit on first-year wood. So that means all the wood that grows, the branches are going to grow this next season is where the fruit's going to come from. So we pruned this one, accounting for that. So we've got some structure pruning we need to do, and as well as just some size control pruning that we need to do. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the size control pruning. So we've got on this side of the tree, we're going to do some major structure pruning on that side. So we'll start on this side. We've got a lot of these branches that have grown all season, and some of them have gone back into our outdoor dining area there. So we're just going to take those ones off that went backwards into the dining area. We really don't want them to come back. Okay, we don't want to encourage growth into that area. Now these ones here are probably okay. We're going to leave the tips because I have dreams of it continuing to grow and making a whole wall of fig here. So we're going to let the tips grow. We're not going to tip them off. This one's a little long. We are going to tip this back to kind of like a spur pruning type style is what we're doing here. And I'll take this one back as well. This guy's growing straight down. I'm going to take that one off all the way. Okay, spur prune that guy back. This one. And what this is going to do is it's going to encourage it to push growth out of here, and we're going to get even more growth next year. Okay, this one, same thing. Spur prune this back. Now when we get back to the main trunk, I don't want more limbs coming off, so we're actually going to cut these, flush cut these at the collar of the branch so we don't have growth coming back. Now this is where it gets kind of scary. We've got some really big branches here. We're going to spur prune these as well because I don't really need these branches. You can see this one goes up pretty high. Same thing. I'm going to take that back, spur prune that back. This one comes straight out from the tree towards, is not the look we're going for, so we're going to take that one back at the collar as well. Okay. Now last year, so that's pretty much it for the upper side here. Now last year we tried to keep some of these branches here down low, had some ideas that was going to do something. That didn't really pan out, so we're going to change our plan and we're going to take those off. So the goal now is to have a two-tiered espalier up high. That way we can do roses and artichokes and rhubarb and thyme, and we have tarragon and some other herbs down in this planter are going to go in underneath this. So we need to really lighten up the bottom. So we're going to do some heavy pruning here. So we're going to take off this branch because it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. So take that off. We're going to take off all these branches here at the bottom as well. I'm just doing that so I can get in here better. Take them off nice and tight. Can you bring the camera in here? I want to show what the collar is that we're pruning to. So at the base of each branch on any fruit tree or any tree at all, there's what's called the collar. That's this part here that comes around the branch. That's what the branch is growing from. Now when we cut the branch off, we want to cut tight up to the collar, but don't cut the collar itself. Now what that does is it's where the tree is going to heal over the cut. So you can see here we've cut to within about 1/4 inch of that collar. That's going to dry down, fall off, and that collar is going to heal over. You can see it's done it here. It's healed over a branch there that we cut off last year. So we're going to do that here. We'll get the loppers out. This one's almost big enough to need a saw, but we're going to get in there close to the collar, cut it off nice and flush, and that'll heal over very nicely. Okay, so we got a couple more here around the edge. Well, I've got the loppers out, might as well use them. And we got this one here as well. Okay, so that's that on there. So I need to cut some tie tape here off the pole, get this branch off that didn't quite pan out last year. Let's tidy this up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this lower tier, same thing. We're going to spur prune this all back, taking off these ones in the back that I don't want to continue to grow. Just prune them off so they're all consistently about 3 to 4 inches all the way down. Take that one off, it's pointing the wrong direction. That one's fine, that one's fine. Don't like this one going off towards the back, or this one. But we are gonna hope that that one continues and we can pull that down and continue to go. Now, you can see this was our branch we selected last year to grow and try to make our main structure out of. It didn't really pan out. It just kind of piddled out, didn't really grow. but this guy really took off. So we're actually gonna get rid of this scaffold here, and we're gonna train this one back down. Now, that's pretty easy to do. We're gonna simply cut that off at the collar. We're gonna cut the tie tape here that we had going on this one branch. Put that away. We're gonna pull down this branch here to where it's about even with the other side, which is about there. Hold it down, wrap it around here a little bit. I gotta pull it pretty tight. I'm gonna bring it back around. I'm gonna tie it off here. And that'll do it. Hopefully hold that in the ground. This pole's actually pulling the post out of the ground. There we go. So that's it. We'll come in, we'll tie this one as well. Maybe square these up a little bit, but that's about it. So that's our Espalier fig. You can see we cleaned them up. Now there's different types of figs, so make sure to double check. Some figs fruit on old wood, some figs fruit on new wood. Like I said, this one being a blackjack fruits on new wood. So we prune it very aggressively because we want to do a lot of size control. As you saw last year, this thing grew like 6 feet last year, and that's its first year in the ground. So we've got a much nicer structure here now. We spur pruned all down the cane. I might go back, clean that side up a little bit more, and I'd like to add, hopefully by the end of next year, another post on each side, so we have this thing almost being, I don't know, 20 feet wide, hopefully by the end of the year. That's my goal. We'll see how it goes. And so that's the end of year 2 of Espaliering blackjack fig. Thanks for watching.